You got field Negroes in America today. I'm a field Negro. The masses are the field Negroes. When they see this man's house on fire, you don't hear these little Negroes talking about our government is in trouble. They say the government is in trouble. Imagine a Negro, our government. I even heard one say our astronauts. They won't even let him near the plant. And our astronauts, our Navy, that's a Negro that's out of his mind. That's a Negro that's out of his mind. Just as the slave master in that day used Tom, the house Negro, to keep the field Negroes in check, the same old slave master today has Negroes who are nothing but modern Uncle Toms, 20th century Uncle Toms, to keep you and me in check, keep us under control, keep us passive and peaceful and nonviolent. That's Tom making you nonviolent. It's like when you go to the dentist and the man is going to take your tooth. You're going to fight him when he starts pulling. So they squirt some stuff in your jaw called Novocaine to make you think they're not doing anything to you. So you sit there, and of course you got all that Novocaine in your jaw, you suffer peacefully. Blood running all down your jaw. And you don't know what's happening. Because someone has taught you to suffer peacefully. The white man do the same thing to you in the street. When he don't want to put knots on your head and take advantage of you and don't have to be afraid of you fighting back, to keep you from fighting back, he get these old religious Uncle Toms to teach you and me that just like Novocaine, suffer peacefully. Don't stop suffering, just suffer peacefully. As Reverend Cleave pointed out, let your blood flow in the streets. This is a shame. And you know he's a Christian preacher. If it's a shame to him, you know what it is to me. Because nothing in our book, the Quran, as you call it Quran, teaches us to suffer peacefully. Our religion teaches us to be intelligent, be peaceful, be courteous, obey the law, respect everyone. But if someone puts his hand on you, send him to the cemetery. That's a good religion. In fact, that's that old-time religion. That's the one that Ma and Pa used to talk about. An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, and a head for a head, and a life for a life. That's a good religion. And then anybody, no one resents that kind of religion being taught but a wolf who intends to make you his meal. This is the way it is with the white man in America. He's a wolf, and you're a sheep. Anytime a shepherd, a pastor, teach you and me not to run from the white man, and at the same time teachers don't fight the white man, he's a traitor to you and me. Don't lay down our life all by itself. No. Preserve your life. It's the best thing you got. And if you got to give it up, let it be even Steven. The slave master took Tom and dressed him well and fed him well and even gave him a little education, Gave him a long coat and a top hat and made all the other slaves look up to him. Then he used Tom to control them. The same strategy that was used in those days is used today by the same white man. He take a Negro, so-called Negro, and make him prominent, build him up, publicize him, make him a celebrity, and then he becomes a spokesman for Negro and a Negro leader.
Administrator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
Bismillah, wa salatu wa salam Rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, and peace and blessings of Allah be upon His last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a lot of haters up in here. And I just wanted to touch up on this topic because I was going to do this yesterday, but I just kind of ran out of time, and I'm heading out to work. But this topic is probably, if you were somebody who consumes social media, it's probably one of the most important things you need to understand before you consume social media for your information. Now, the new currency in our times is attention. And what we are witnessing is attention wars from attention whores on YouTube Spaces. And whether or not they're Muslim or not, that's completely irrelevant. They can have big beards and still be attention whores. And the difference between being an attention whore in our time and the times of the past is that the access for any old ignoramus to build a large platform to monetize their clout chasing is incredibly easy. It's outrageously easy. So we are probably the only, I'm not quite sure there are any other channels that cover this, but we're the ones who put out so many of these influencers with their alt-right leanings, and they're trying to hide behind, Islamic dress and jargon in order to push either mostly the right-leaning rhetoric. We dealt with the left-leaners. I mean that's all played out because these left-leaners have been around for a long time, right? But the right-leaners are something that's fairly new. It's relatively new. So, but the astonishing thing is that these attention seekers are now being the ones who are pushing and pulling the strings of scholars. So scholars are now reacting to the whims of influencers and even inviting influencers to speak on their platforms and their conferences. You would think that scholars would be the ones who are guiding the influencers, but that is absolutely not the case. What's happening is the influencers are guiding the scholars. Now, is there something inherently wrong with influencers working with scholars? No, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. But these very same social media moguls are leveraging scholarship in order to grift in popular political topics, using these very same scholars to shield them from criticism, like Daniel Hakikajan, who very famously used scholarship as a barrier and a blockade for him to very easily push right-leaning political agendas to the public. So now what we have is that finally one of your mainstream social media moguls was talked about by a mainstream Redpill social media mogul, a very large Redpill channel by the name of Mediocre Tutorials. Now, this particular brother, Mediocre Tutorials, he deals almost explicitly in Redpill commentary. Very smart guy, a very intelligent guy. However, at the same time, you're talking about entertainment here, okay? But, I wasn't even going to touch this topic at all, but since certain things happened recently, again, we have to talk about this. Now, I left this topic complete because this happened a couple of weeks ago, right? And I didn't even want to touch it, right? So just let me not touch it. But since this new thing happened that we did a live about a couple weeks ago, we gotta touch up on this, right? So let's get into it. So let me just cue this thing up. All right. So here is the mediocre tutorials and reviews channel, right? And we're just gonna watch it real quick.
Brian, how are you okay with telling young men to go to sleep around before marriage? You've said men should sleep with at least 50 girls before marriage. Quran 24:2 condemns promiscuity. Sneeko go do Muay Thai in Thailand. Look, bro. See, this is what I mean when I say people lack critical thinking skills.
We're only supposed to do the fun parts of the religion, okay? Not the shitty parts, guys.
No.
One of the most interesting storylines in the Fresh and Fit story, or the Fresh and Fit arc, is this new development of how dudes that they ride with or that they ride for have converted to a new religion, that religion being Islam. Specifically, Andrew Tate converting to the Islamic faith a few months back, and now Sneeko converting to it, which seems about yesterday. One of the things that I'm looking to understand is how their newfound faith coincides or conflicts with different concepts spoken on their platforms from an RP perspective. Now, we've seen more so recently that the Tate brothers have condemned RP, and we've seen Sneeko do a complete 180 from heel turn to babyface of the company, where he now rides with these concepts of family building.
The hypocritical part about it is that we make fun of girls all the time for not controlling their sexual urges and being hoes all the time. Like, you belong to the streets, all this stuff. You tell guys that they're losers if they don't go to the gym, they're losers if they play video games, you're a loser if you smoke weed, you're a loser if you watch sports. You need to exercise discipline. But when it comes to girls, oh shit, get a vasectomy because you can't control yourself, because you're not capable of exercising discipline. Why do you have to be disciplined in every single aspect of life? Networking, success, all this stuff, watching sports, playing video games, you need to be on your stuff. But for women, nut inside girls after getting a transgender surgery, that's the one thing you can't be disciplined in.
Sneeko, what did number 2 say? Avoid family creation. It could be condom or plan B, but he's just saying to be extra
another
careful.
form of contraception is what it is, basically.
But he didn't say that, and that's not a good form of contraception because it's not supposed to be reversed. That's what the doctor tells you when you get a vasectomy surgery. It's like, you cannot expect this to be reversed. You shouldn't go into that thinking that you're going to reverse it. And also, a better advice, instead of saying never again, maybe for the women that I do have sex with, prepare that she could be the mother of your children. Maybe don't spend time with hoes all the time thinking I need to 50 girls so I understand feminists and how retarded they are. Maybe just don't them. Maybe women that you can see yourself having a family with.
When you first, hold on, that's a regular.
You won't be able to detect that though.
Exactly. You need experience.
You need experience, bro.
How do you wait? No. How do you need experience? What does that mean?
How would you know what's good for you if you never had it?
The Red Bull advice is you need 50 bodies.
I want to open this one up.
Let's go.
Do you think you need to fuck a girl to tell if she's like family material?
Whereas previously, he completely disregarded them.
But when I spend time with my niece and I'm watching her like walk for the first time, or I'm seeing her say words, like that shit hits different.
So you giving up on your balls? Yeah, you're getting tired. You're getting older. Like, that's just like, I'm too tired of. That sounds boring. I don't want to be. When I'm 32, I want to be fucking double the bitch I'm fucking now. I want to be having a bigger house, having like, I want to be down the Hugh Hefner shit. That's what makes you. That's what keeps your balls going. Like, you can't let go of that. You can't let go of your manhood at a certain age. If you give up on that, like, oh, I like playing macaroni drawings with my kids.
So what I want to do today is to review a YouTuber's video who claims that Fresh and Fit are missing.
Now, y'all saw that, right? And I guess we can all agree that, this is like whatchamacallit, typical Sneeko. I don't know much about Sneeko, but the little that I do know is that he waffles very quickly, and he'll take one extreme position to another extreme position in under 30 seconds, right? So, but anyways, that's besides the point. That's neither here nor there. Okay, let us watch this popular YouTuber that's Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews is reviewing today.
Misrepresenting Islam, to not only hear the other side of the coin, but to perhaps learn something new. So without further ado,
so he introduces this YouTuber as what? Representing Islam. Okay, he introduces him as representing Islam. Let's see the YouTuber.
So guys, we're going to be reacting to a video from Fresh and Fit, or shall I call it Haram and Fitna? Because there are still things that they're saying on that program, which is very, very absurd, because they are misrepresenting Islam as if Islam says or allows these things, which is absolutely wrong. Now, Sneeko came to Islam, Andrew Tate came to Islam, may Allah preserve them. And Myron is a born Muslim himself, but he himself says some very outrageous stuff, and I'm being just here. Now, is there a lot of facts Myron speaks? Yes, he does. I've bought his book called, I think it's called Why Women Deserve Less, or something along those lines. Okay, just to see what he said. Now, there is a lot of facts in there, and there's some extreme things that he says. We follow Islam, we don't follow the Redpill or the feminism, both man-made, woman-made rules. Let's watch this video, and let's see what they are saying on the show, and how it is absolutely false and a big fat lie and slander against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent in his kitab, which is the Quran. Let's watch it for ourselves.
My man is my man. Like, I don't care if you thought that
See,
you wanted to do things with multiple women. Like,
he has to block out those because he's representing Islam, right? Gotta block him out.
No. The answer is no.
No, you can't speak on behalf of my man.
I can tell you. Here's
Maybe the majority.
If I lined up 100 dudes and I told them, listen, you can have 4 girls or 1 girl, and I promise you that girl won't get mad. She'll let you have sex with other girls. She won't get mad. They'll take the 4 girls.
Yep.
Most guys are monogamous because of women like you that tell them, if you, girl, I'm leaving. That's why most guys are monogamous, because most girls like you two right now can't take the truth.
And also, just after that point as well, that's why they lie. Because they know that if they do the truth, you're gonna leave. So it's like, you know what? I thought what she wants to hear, so I can stay in the good grace. But on the side, I'm gonna hit Betty at 4 in the morning.
Why is this acceptable?
Why is what acceptable?
Like, why do you guys feel like we as women should be like, okay, it's fine, you guys?
Look at your family. We're going to get into it. But you can see, basically, Ali Dawah is reacting to Myron for saying some outlandish stuff that is against the Quran. So he's defending Islam now, right? That's the whole point. He's out here defending Islam now. Against who? Myron. He needs to defend Islam against Myron. So, of course, mediocre tourism reviews. He's in this space. He's in this red pill space. He's a red pillar, hardcore. And he does all this red pill content. But we were the ones who were saying that this whole thing is a grift, did we not? We called this out, how long ago? And finally, Ali Dawah, he finally made it, right? He was already a big YouTuber, and now he's finally getting attention from big YouTubers in the red pill space, right? So anyway, let's keep watching to see what's going on here.
Quran.
Just real quick, my initial thought about that, when I think about the Quran, or if I think about the Islamic faith, I would think that most of the teachings in there would be from a marriage perspective. But it sounds like Myron wasn't talking about faith at all. It sounded like he was talking about how generally men in their 20s, how they feel about having multiple women. And then it sounded like Sneeko at the end said, well, you should read the Quran, which was not Myron's original point. So it'd be...
Boom! Even mediocre tourism reviews picked up on it. That Myron wasn't talking about faith at all. And Myron, in general, he doesn't talk about faith, right? As far as I know, he doesn't talk about faith, right? He was just talking about men's desires to have multiple women. And then somebody out there was saying that's haram, just kind of making a joke. But they weren't talking about faith. But of course, Ali Dawah, attention is the new currency. He got to seek attention from this. He got to try to exploit this, right? To get eyes on his channel. That's his job, right? His job is to do that, right? But we're going somewhere with this, so just bear with me, all right? Just bear with me, okay?
Interesting to see where he goes in discussion. And let me also say this as well. Myron leveraging this idea of, if you were to survey 100 men, what is it that they would say, more women or less women? I think that is majority true for men in their 20s full of testosterone, and also men who don't consider the negative repercussions of having all these women around that you're in a relationship with. We talk about ad nauseum the degree of peace that men need within their life, and the more women that you add into a situation, the less peace that you have. Shit, I was just talking to my boy the other day, and he was talking about all of these life things and experiences that his girlfriend is currently going through. I'm talking about family sickness and illness, deaths in the family, car crashes that have happened. And I'm just that's a lot of things that you have to deal with her over the past 6 months. Imagine if you had multiple girls who were going through the same ish at the same time. That is the antithesis of peace. But let's see what this brother says right here.
And you saw that for yourself. Yeah?
Okay.
This notion, this perception, this thing that they're propagating, which that a man can commit zina. A man can have as many, sleep around, do whatever.
He doesn't even know what zina is. He had to look up
there's 2 angles
what zina is.
Number one, in Islam, in the Sharia, categorically clear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, for those who commit sex outside of marriage, if they are both unmarried, there is the punishment of 100 lashes for them having sex outside of marriage. If they are married, there is a capital punishment, clear-cut capital punishment. Because we know how the breakdown of the family unit has an impact on the whole society as a whole.
While I agree here that family is the building block of society, I'd also argue on Fit's behalf that he wasn't attacking that conversation from a religious perspective. It sounded like it was Sneeko who brought up, well, you should read the Quran, which is not a fresh and fit point, but then also who had control of the soundboard to then do the Allah Akbar at the end of it. Because I think that Myron controls that soundboard unless their producer in the back also controls it as well.
So therefore,
the point is that Fresh and Fit's whole broadcast is not an Islamic broadcast at all, period, right? Myron is, you could say, born like cultural Muslim, right? And even if you go to Abba and preach, Abba is cultural Muslim too, right? He was born in the Islamic faith, but he's not Muslim. He admits that he's not Muslim. Myron says he's not a practicing Muslim. But both of their platforms are not Islamic at all, okay? At all. But of course, as we mentioned, attention is a new currency. So whenever there's an opportunity to become an attention whore, you take it. And damn the consequences of who you are putting in front of the Muslims. Who cares about that stuff? As long as you are growing your platform. And when it comes to monetization, attention always trumps integrity. You will never, ever be able to monetize integrity. People go where the trends are going. It's as simple as that. But here's the ironic thing, okay? The ironic thing is that Fresh and Fit, they're not really that bright, okay? Let's be honest. They're not, the sharpest pens in the box, there are a few crayons missing of the crayon collection. But what they do have going for them is work ethic. And they treated their YouTube channel like a business. So their YouTube channel is successful not because of their talking points, but because they're able to get unsuspecting hoes, 304s, on their channel.
I think they have the opportunity to be.
This came out today, by the way. That's Sneeko and the other white supremacist guy. I can't remember his name.
And based off your definition, part one was men aren't emotional control, which we just.
But you can see
the one is
that this is the stuff
have more empathy. Women, correct?
Yeah.
I would
that makes them popular. This stuff, the stuff that Ali Dawah
women typically view the world through
was blocking, pretending he wasn't watching Fresh and Fit and
stuff.
stuff.
In my experience, that's how women typically speak when asked about a sensitive topic.
That's why they're popular.
That's how we're all reacting right now.
Because they out here talking to a bunch of 304s. But why are you showing us this, Bilal? Because I want you to see their platform. Just look at their platform and how professional it is and how they run it. You see how professional their platform is? Very professional.
Women are more empathetic?
I didn't say.
Okay, there's Sneeko. Okay, again. Very, very professional. So what Fresh and Fit have done is that they have created a platform that other people are copying. like Just Pearly Things. And you know who else copied the same look of this platform, covering very similar topics? Y'all want to know? Who wants to know? Who wants to know who is covering similar topics to the very same Fresh and Fit and almost copying their entire platform, the way that they do things? You want to see? Who wants to see?
Get involved in household chores. I'm going to start off.
Y'all seeing this? Y'all seeing this, right? There's Mandy Tijani, okay? I don't know who these randoms are, but ain't that something? Ain't that something? And they have to halalify it, because they can't be talking about, do body counts matter to women wearing hijabs? And by the way, they do cover those topics to women in the hijab. They actually do that. They're bold enough to do that. Okay? They're bold enough to do that. Now, is there anything inherently wrong with copying somebody else's, business platform in order to make your business successful? No, ain't nothing inherently wrong with that either. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But this is what you're doing. You are mentioning some of the most filthiest people on YouTube by name, accusing them of saying this and that about Islam. And then turn around and copy their exact, not just their platform, but even their talking points. Right? This is what you're doing. You have outrage. You have outrage that these people who don't have an Islamic platform are advising men. You're outraged that they are advising men to sleep around with as many women as they possibly can. Myron, you as a Muslim, Myron ain't in my books, he's not a Muslim anyways, like he don't pray, he don't fast, he don't do it, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't do anything Islamic. Right? By his own admission, by the way. By his own admission. He doesn't do anything Islamic at all. And you are so angry that you have to make a video quoting ayat and hadith and, that even the zani and the zania, the man and the woman, they'll make a difference. Both of them get lashes in Islam. Both of them. How dare you, Myron, encourage these unsuspecting men
They have negative feelings about black people.
Of making zina with as much women as possible when it's against Islam. How dare you do that? How dare you, Myron? We are outraged that you did that. Fine, you're outraged. You got to say something. What about this?
they have negative feelings about black people.
No shit! You stupid sand nigger! No shit! What the fuck you do? Yeah, definitely negative feelings. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do when white supremacy runs wild on you, motherfucker? You just cry.
Where's your outrage for that? Inquiring minds want to know, where is your outrage for that? I mean, you like to make, your job is reaction videos, right? Why haven't you reacted to that? You're so mad and angry that Byron was advising, not Muslim men, mind you, and we hope that Muslim men don't watch Fresh and Fit. We hope that anyways. But even if they did, they would watch Fresh and Fit because of y'all, because of you, YouTubian elites. You pushed them in front of the Muslims, and that's you are the only reason why they would watch stuff like that. Only you. You have all this built up tension and all this energy and vigor. You can't hold yourself back. You have to say something about Byron advising the men. And don't you know Islam, that both the men and the women, it don't make a difference. They both get lashes for making zina. So much so that mediocre tutorials and reviews. He didn't know what zina was. He had to go research it. He had to go Google it. What's zina? You know what it was. He didn't know what it was because his channel, just like Myron's channel, just like Albert and Bree's channel, is not dedicated for Islamic topics. You are the ones who have channels dedicated for Islamic topics. So we are asking you, where is your outrage for this stuff?
Right now, swinging from a monkey branch, eating a banana, playing some Donkey Kong on an N64 because he's a stupid prick. He's a window licking stupid nigger.
We want to know where your outrage is for that stuff.
I can't believe we're racist. Let's stand on
Even look at Sneako's face. If you look at Sneako's face, you can tell that he's uncomfortable. Sneako is uncomfortable. You can tell just by his body language, he's not really feeling it. But he's not going to say anything. You know why Sneako's not going to say anything? You know why? Because just like Fresh and Fit are attention whores, Sneako's an attention whore too. And this alliance that he has built with Abbott and Breach,
what is good, family? This
just
is your girl,
curly things,
Michelle, and
even Nick Fuentes. The reason why he did that is because, sorry, not Abbott and Breach, Fresh and Fit. It's because Abbott and Breach wiped the floor with them all. That's all this is about. So he's ready to sign off on some outrageous, outlandish stuff. He won't push back on it at all. Because he's an attention whore. Just like the rest of them. And who else won't push back on it? The same YouTubian elites who are inviting these filthy individuals to speak in front of the Muslims, talking about we're refuting Christians and stuff, we're making dawah and stuff. So when the currency becomes attention, you cannot be in a world of monetizing attention and have your foot with integrity at the same time. One of them has to go. Either you will keep your integrity at the loss of the new currency, which is attention, or The opposite is true. The opposite is true. You can't do both. And what we are telling you here is that your YouTubian elites have chosen, very obviously chosen. This would never, ever, ever happen 15 years ago. Never. It would not be a thing. These very same influencers are able to totally bypass anything resembling gatekeeping simply because of the sheer size of their platforms. So, because they're able to bypass that, and nobody can tell them anything, and even so-called scholars are being pushed and pulled to the whims of influencers now. It's not the opposite. It's not the scholars who are advising the influencers. No, the influencers are telling these so-called scholars, you want to be big, whatever. These scholars are inviting them to their conferences. Can you imagine? And there is nothing wrong at all with social media moguls working with scholars. That is not the problem here. That isn't the problem. But think about Islam, those of you who are older, think about Islam 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Even if you think about the Deen Show. Did the Deen Show ever, 10 years ago, 15 years, did he ever have characters like Jesse Lee Peterson on his show? Would he even think to do that? No, he wouldn't even think to do that. But there's a new era now. There's a new era, and we are living not only in the times of Nabuwah and the times of prophecy, but we're also living in the times where the infrastructure of the coming of the Dajjal is being quickly and rapidly built. The Prophet said, he called these times, the times of the liars, the liars will come out. So those people with integrity and those people who are speaking the truth, they will be considered the liars. And those people who lie, they will be considered the truthful. And the people who lie, of course they're going to be more popular. Of course, like duh. Of course they will. Who want to hear the truth? It's like I mentioned last time, you have Muslims out here that are saying that millions of people will become Muslim because Andrew Tate became Muslim. Millions, they're saying, will become Muslim. Millions of people did not become Muslim when Isa alayhi salam was on earth. He's the word of Allah, born from a mother without a father. He was strengthened with the Injil. And he only had a small little bit of followers. Ibrahim alayhi salam only had a small few followers. Even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu in his lifetime wasn't able to achieve millions of followers in his lifetime. But millions of people will follow Islam because of Andrew Tate. This is the mindset of the modern Muslim. This is what they think now because they grew up on this stuff. They grew up watching social media entertainment thinking that they're getting something of benefit. But all they are doing is investing in their own indoctrination. And they speak like indoctrinated people. And it's very easy to swing them this way or that way. All you have to do is pay any influencer whatever they need to be paid in order to tell the influencer to say whatever you need them to say. That's it. So Ali Dawah, so angry with Myron because he said, you're telling Muslim men to have sex with at least 50 women and blah blah, and the Quran says, you're gonna get lashes. He's so angry at that. He's so angry at that, but he has nothing at all to say. Nothing at all. Excuse the language. But these people, these are the same people that they are putting in front of. It's not me. I'm not putting them in front of you. I'm telling you not to listen to these fools, these idiots. Okay? But these people are the same ones who are telling you to listen to people like this. Watch out.
Shit, you stupid sad nigger. No shit. What the fuck do you think? Got definitely negative feelings.
That's legal.
About it. What you gonna do?
That's Myron.
When white supremacy runs wild on you, motherfucker. He's just crying right now, swinging from a monkey branch, eating a banana, playing some Donkey Kong on an N64 because he's a stupid prick. He's a window-licking stupid nigger.
I can't believe it. Look here. Nick Fuentes. Sneeko, Myron, Nick Fuentes.
What is good for
And
me?
just
This is
Pearly
your girl.
Face.
I am Courtney Michelle, and I am back with another video.
Anyways. Welcome to the age of the Dajjal. And it's going to get worse, just believe me, because as long as your so-called scholars are out there in front of the people telling you, inviting social media moguls to speak, while your social media moguls are inviting the Muslims to go alt-right and red pill or liberal or feminist or whatnot. This is what their social media moguls are doing. They will not say anything about that at all. Believe me. But anyways, that's all I got for you, family. I gotta go to work. Okay? I gotta head out to work. Keep in mind that the Feachaz is no longer monetized by YouTube. So you are the ones who have to support the channel. You can support it on Patreon, PayPal, or you can donate on the Well Simple Cash App. And as well as like, subscribe, share. The bare minimum you can do is like, subscribe, share. Right? And we will catch you next time. I promise you, your social media moguls ain't gonna say nothing. They're not gonna say nothing. If you want somebody to say something about that fiasco, you gotta come here. Because nobody else gonna say a damn thing. They're okay with all that stuff. They're cool with that. Do you get it? Anyways, Spying from 100 stuff I go to